What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Dahlia gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about Dahlia. Does she need a buff? Does she need a nerf? What's going on with her? It's been a while since I've played her. Let's head over and let's talk about it. So as you can see here, this is Dahlia, from the Rogue Company wiki page, and the main thing that I wanted to talk about with her specifically was her active and passive abilities. So her active ability is Danger Close, linked to an ally for a full round. That ally can be revived by reactivating this ability within 30 meters. And then the passive ability here is Buddy System, inherit your linked ally's passive for the duration of the round. Okay, so the buddy system thing is kind of cool, but I would change it slightly. Also, whenever you look at her perk set, she does have bounce back at legendary, lifeline at legendary, energized at epic, quick hands epic, tenacity epic, evade rare, crack shot rare, and shredder rounds rare. So for Dahlia, the biggest thing, like, I understand the idea of Dahlia versus Saint, is Dahlia is a little bit more of an aggressive type of playstyle. She has access to DMRs, so she could hang back and be someone that is actually a little bit more reserved and can kind of run in and get the healing things done. But she has SMGs, which makes her a very, very aggressive character to play. She also has frag grenades and smoke grenades, which allow her to kind of, zone out the enemy team whenever you are moving onto an objective, and also a little bit of explosive potential there coupled with it. Buddy System, inherit your linked allies passive for the duration. It's a very cool, very interesting, very unique thing that they did add into the game with Dahlia. But now, after playing Rogue Company for quite a while since Dahlia has been introduced into the game, I feel like they kind of missed the mark with this just a little bit. She can link to one person. She can only revive one person at range, and 30 meters isn't that far away. And honestly, it needs to be extended up to like 45 meters in my opinion to be able to revive a target, or at least allow some type of perk that actually extends the range that you can be away from someone in order to revive them. But honestly, I feel like that they could get rid of the actual way buddy system works now, and I would much prefer it have the ability to where, like, whenever you go down as the Dahlia, the person that you're linked to has the ability to revive you at range. That way it works back and forth like an actual buddy system works. The way that buddy system works now, it's not really a buddy system. It's like, hey, you're good at this thing, I'm going to be good at that for this specific round. It doesn't really feel like the actual term buddy system in my opinion. Then whenever you look at her perks, it's like she has legendary bounce back. She has legendary lifeline, but she doesn't have helping hands at all whatsoever. Whenever you look at Saint, he has helping hands and lifeline and energized, which allows him to revive anybody. And he can get his drone back fairly quickly, and you of course also have the option of being able to run up to someone and reviving them by hand, especially since he has access to the HP regeneration field thing now, which makes him very successful. I mean, whenever you heal someone with Saint, they heal for like 60 HP, and then if you have lifeline, they're going to start regenerating their health immediately upon their res. So Saint is the better healer. All in all, through and through, Saint is the better healer. But I think that like Dahlia's playstyle can be kind of changed up a little bit in a way to where it's like, why can't we like use the benefits that she has as a character in order to make things a little bit better? So other than changing the buddy system, I would also like to see them drop bounce back down to a rare at this point and just slot evade up into bounce back territory, and then possibly or slot up energized. Like, it sucks that like you can't link to someone that's downed. And that was the Dahlia playstyle that I kind of really enjoyed, was where whenever a character would go down, then you could link to that down character and then you could revive them. Yes, it took a little bit longer to link to them and it took a little bit longer to revive them, but it was comparable to a Saint drone, which allowed you to freely flex in the moment. And it may be someone who has a completely useless passive for the team that you're going up against, like a Fixer, for example. Fixer's passive is ignores armor. Maybe the team you're playing against doesn't have armor whatsoever, so realistically he wouldn't be the right choice, right, to go with But if he went down first, then you would, of course, have the opportunity to link to him and then revive him whenever he does go down. And you kind of balance the game out a little bit better there. Because, like, especially in public matches, whenever you were just picking characters at random, you still had that opportunity to, like, link to someone and do it. Now, Demolition is, of course, way different than Strikeout. In Strikeout, it makes sense why you would be forced into picking your person to begin with, or at least not really forced into it, but it would make sense as a Dahlia to say, okay, I'm going into this situation right now. I need this passive ability to be able to help make me more successful in this game. And that, of course, feeds into that idea of like your team comp and what you're going up against, the enemy's team comp, what you're going up against at that point. But you know, with Dahlia, if she had bounce back slotted down, evade slotted up just a little bit more, then I think that she could actively traverse around the map and actually get a lot of hand raises that way. And then with a possible rework to Lifeline and Helping Hands, it might not be a bad idea to kind of slot Helping Hands in on her kit to make her revive just a tad bit quicker, but have her have that explosive, you know, mentality. And like I said before, people were talking about APS systems and smoke grenades, the pop smoke grenades on Dahlia like crazy. They could get rid of her explosive ability like they did with Saint, and she would still be a very effective character at the end of the day. So there's a couple of things that they could do with Dahlia, in my opinion. And I don't think the Dahlia is a bad rogue. Let me go ahead and say that. I don't think that she's a bad rogue at all. I don't really think that she needs a lot of changes to her. But the changes that I would like to see them do to her is what I mentioned before. That's kind of where I am with it. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. What are your feelings on Dahlia? What are your feelings on her passive ability? What are your feelings on her perk layout? And what would you personally do to change her up just a little bit to make her a more successful support character? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Rotating to you. Stay on that corner.
All enemies have been
Woo!
I'm revealed.
On
He's
the
on
wall.
the half wall.
Both of them. There's two on the wall. Gotta get out. In the mid.
Oh god! They pushed me.
nice work, team.
Get
Yeah,
out.
bitch.
That was a good collapse there.
When I hopped that wall in the smoke, it made him panic for a second, so. It was the first time I used my ability that whole match. So we were like, oh god.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what?
Just got that? So,
He can use that?